Hi everyone, welcome to the Living Room channel. Today we will be starting a special segment called Conversations with Women Leaders. And these women leaders are very unique and very different because they have a story to share. It's not only a story about how they've actually successfully started their own business, but how they've actually overcome their own personal battles, their own challenges to actually make it into the business world. So to start off this special segment, I've got a very special guest with me called Eugenia Davis. Welcome to the show, Eugenia.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Yes, I am actually quite excited to have you. I think Brandy is also coming in. She's in the waiting room. So while we are waiting for Brandy, do you want to just share a little bit about yourself to the viewers out there?
Yes, my name is Eugenia Davis. I am a Dallas, Texas native. I pretty much was always like a writer, into, reading. I was very into books. And so I've always wanted to be like an entrepreneur because in my background, my grandmother was an entrepreneur, my dad was an entrepreneur. So it was something that just ran in my family. And through my journey of being an entrepreneur, I've, of course, ran across, challenges, but me getting into the cosmetics world, I didn't start really wearing lipstick until I was 26. So I was very late in I was very late in doing that. And when I started my business, I didn't know anything about business. So, but of course, becoming very frustrated, feeling challenge after challenge, I decided to, go into therapy to kind of see if therapy could help me out and kind of help me see where I went wrong. And that's how, my business, my book came about. Therapy Saved My Business, because, throughout these challenges and years of being an entrepreneur and facing things, I realized I really needed some help to kind of help me, guide that, get through that.
Okay, and Eugenia, just basically you mentioned that you realized that you felt that you needed to have therapy, right? What actually kind of sparked that off? Like, was there something that happened that made you wake up and realize that you really needed to seek therapy?
Absolutely. Between, me working on my business and just, working a 9 to 5, trying to provide for my family, and then, trying to become an entrepreneur. And a lot of entrepreneurs don't talk about how stressed out they are. And so when you're working a 9 to 5, you have a family to provide for. I just felt like I needed to talk to someone because I'm like, how do I juggle it all? How can I be successful in all these areas and still fulfill my dream of being an entrepreneur?
It's really good. I mean, I really like the fact that you actually decided to do something about it, and basically that changed your whole. I think it changed your whole story. You changed your whole narrative, and you decided to actually go forth. And I believe that the results of you taking that initiative to seek therapy and to get yourself better or improve yourself is what helped you going into the business. But just to find out from you, right? Why the cosmetics business? I mean, it's I would say it's such a competitive business, right?
Honestly, it really is. It's a very competitive business. However, there's always products that people feel like is not catered to them. Being a darker skinned woman, there's a lot of colors of lipsticks and things like that. People of color don't feel comfortable wearing all the time, or it may be the ingredients in those cosmetic products that, people like, I'm not really particular, I don't really care for that. I love the brand, but, they kind of missed the mark with this one. So, being a consumer myself, being a woman myself, I listen to, people's reviews of certain lipsticks and things like that in cosmetics and hear, well, they could have done this better, or I think this color would have been nice. And so to my line and, make something that every woman would feel comfortable wearing, be comfortable with the colors and just feel good about themselves.
I think it's really great because I think this color cosmetics, especially for different colors, like what we daily wear, right? Like lipsticks and all that. It's really hard to find a color that matches your complexion, especially if you are like a brown girl, just like me, right? Sometimes certain colors don't really look good on you. So so I think it's really something that I feel that you're passionate about, and you feel like you can, and I like the fact that you are also like kind of empowering some of these women to be themselves, to actually like find something that they're comfortable with. Is that one of the rationale behind you starting this like this cosmetics brand as well?
Like, maybe I'm too dark for this color, or maybe this color doesn't, go well with my complexion. And so, that's one thing I do. And a lot of women commend me. They're like, wow, I tried your product. I didn't think it would look great on me. And I feel wonderful. I love how, the lipstick goes on. I love how it lasts all day, and, just things like that. So it was a huge driving force behind what I wanted to do with my cosmetics. I thought about those women who didn't feel, as confident, because I was one of them, with wearing lipstick and, wearing cosmetic products. So that was definitely a driving force, behind Dymanz Glaze.
In terms of, and I know that you actually kind of also published your first book, right? Do you want to share a little bit about, what got you started in writing your own book?
When I was in therapy, after my sessions, I would have conversations with my friends, and my friends would tell me, wow, like this is good stuff. I never thought about this that way. Oh my God, your help, you opened my eyes. And so I started having these conversations more and more. Like people started coming like, hey, what happened this week? Or, what did y'all talk about this week? And so I was like, you know what? Why don't I put it in a book? Because if this information is so helpful to the people around me, I can only imagine how many more people I can help, with this book. And so it just inspired me to go ahead and take everything that I learned during those sessions, at least the foundational pieces for me, and I put it in the book, and, just inspired other people during their journey.
Really amazing that you actually did that. Like, you have actually kind of written your own book, and it's based on the idea, so it's very real, right? When you have conversations like that, and you've actually been able to like write it down in write it down in the book. Just to find out a little bit about yourself as a person, right? How would you describe yourself, Eugenia? Who is Eugenia? Like, how would you share with people who have just come to know you, right? Interesting facts about yourself.
I would say that I'm very driven, very motivated. Like I'm the type of person, you can't tell me what I'm capable of doing, so that's just one thing, about me. I'm a very loving person, very understanding, I would say that teaching is part of what I do. Like I believe in spreading knowledge, helping people along the way, because somebody helped me along the way. God blessed me with numerous people along the way to help me get to where I am. So, I would definitely say that, just loving, motivating, driven, and definitely a person who's willing to lend a helping hand at any time.
And as a woman leader, how would you describe your leadership style?
I would say my leadership style will be more of a coaching. And the reason why I do that way, because when you are in leadership and you're a woman, a lot of times you feel like it's you against everybody else. And so by the leadership style of me coaching, I'm letting you know, hey, I am in leadership. I am a woman. However, let me give you the tools that I have, or, that I've picked up over the years, so you can take that and grow into your own leader as well. Just take that and excel. So that would be my leadership style, because people tend to, when they understand that you're invested, not only in just what is going on around you guys, but what type of person you are as well, and help you reach that level or that next level, you get a different level of respect. out of people. So I would definitely say the leadership style for me would be a coaching type leadership.
I mean, I'm sure that that's something that you've learned from other leaders as well. So if you have to say, who would be the inspirational leader that you kind of emulate after?
That's a good question, because there's so many, now. See, growing up, there wasn't a lot of, women leaders. So now we have this abundance of women who are coming forward, who are doing, what it is that they love to do. So to narrow it down, I mean, I could literally just go through different, occupations. Like, I have a lot of respect for women in politics. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a male dominated field, has been for hundreds of years. These women are making their voices heard. They're standing strong throughout all the trials. So definitely, like, women in politics inspire me. Also watching women who are opening their businesses, successful women who are, again, going into a male dominated industry, making those deals, getting those, products on, big shelves and things like that. So it's hard for me to narrow down, but it's just a beautiful sight to see so many women now, pushing that envelope, saying, hey, I don't want to just stand in the background. I'm a leader as well. So I just take inspiration from all of them. As I read their stories, as I come across them, I just take inspiration from all of them.
So I understand that when you mentioned that, right? Like, I caught that, like, in terms of a male dominant society, right? And especially when you first started out, it might be difficult for you to even like push your product, get it out of, get it really out there, because first of all, you are like, you are a woman in a male dominated industry. Second of all, of course, you are from a minority race, and we know it's not very easy. So in terms of for yourself, right, but what was the challenges that you faced? Like, maybe you want to name one challenge that you faced and how you turn it around, to actually kind of benefit you and the business.
I had no following. So I wrote a book. I created this beautiful product, and it never occurred to me because I just leaped out on faith. And I started this businesses and this book, and I'm like, you don't have a following. So that was the biggest challenge for me, was getting that brand awareness out there. I have to thank my amazing team, because I work with women leaders as well, and we come together, and they have helped propel, my business to where it is right now. So that was my biggest challenge. Nobody knew who I was.
But I think that never stopped you, which is really great, because I know that sometimes what happens is when people tend to give up very easily, and they don't persevere. And I think one of the things that I really liked about you is like you never stopped. You never stopped giving up. You just kept on trying, and until you came to a point where you are right now, like an author. You have your own brand, and I do see more things happening for you in the future as well.
Aww.
And in terms of like, I know that you also work with women as well. Besides doing your own business and all that, is there something else that you do, like a volunteer or contributing factor to like give back to the society?
Absolutely. So coming up in July, I will be part of, it's called Stars Empowerment. And so it's a camp for at-risk teen girls. My friend, her name is Shalonda Palmer. She is the organizer of the event. And so for a week, we're going to go to Colorado, and we're going to do therapy. We're going to hang out, and we're just going to, I'm one of the camp leaders. So there I will be inspiring young women who do have a desire to go into business, who do feel like, how can I do this? There's so much going on around me. And as far as that mental health aspect as well. So I am part of an organization. I am so happy and proud of this organization. And it just means so much to be able to give back to young women and keep that empowerment going.
That's so true, right? I mean, we really need women like you who have actually gone through that path before and are now coming up to really help and educate young women. Because sometimes, we have gone through the hard way, and there are times we are blessed to have good mentors and good leaders over us, but a lot of times we don't get that. And we are really out on our own. What we have is a dream and a passion. That's all. So we really need good mentors like yourself to really come on and help and train these women. And that's really fantastic to hear that you are actually doing this.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's very near and dear because like you said, we don't have a lot of mentors. And in the areas that I grew up in, there wasn't any mentors. There was no one coming through to give us wisdom, to help us out, to get us to the next level. It took a lot of prayer. It took a lot of, hey, God, lead, order my steps. You know what I'm saying? Help me out. Like, which way do I go? And so I'll definitely want to be able to have an impact, on young women as much as I possibly can, because I understand those challenges. It's very difficult.
Because you talked about faith, right? I just wanted to ask you, I mean, because we also have, most of the women tuning into the channel are also believers. So I want to also ask, right, how much of your faith has helped you during these times, like your challenging times?
Oh man, like there isn't a day that I can think about where I didn't pray. I didn't have any type of, connection with God, because when you're starting a business, when you're an entrepreneur, it's not easy. It's just not easy. And you don't always have someone there to give you the answers. So with that, I consistently I stay praying. I can't go a day without prayer. And, God has blessed me because throughout my journey, as I pray, I always ask God to, send somebody my way, help me out, somebody to give me a word, someone to, propel me or get me to that next level. And God has always delivered. There's been so many wonderful people who I've came across my path, during this journey, who has given me valuable information, and they always say, there's just something about you. Like, I don't know what it is. I just want to help you. And I'm so grateful. So faith definitely was the backbone of my journey, in being an entrepreneur.
I think that's really powerful. I also do believe in that because I think if we only rely on our own knowledge, it's very limited. And even if we have all the smarts in the world, or we cannot position ourselves at the right place where the opportunities are. And that's why we really need prayer before we embark on something, because that would really open the right doors for us.
Absolutely. That's absolutely, like, I honestly, there are doors that have opened for me, and I know that I didn't qualify technically, according to the world standard, I didn't qualify. So I was like, wow, I know this was nothing but God. Like, God answered my prayer. I remember praying, X amount of months ago, and now it's happening. So absolutely, like, I don't know how I could continue without, that faith and that prayer.
And during the times when you face I'm sure there are we have our moments when we feel down as well, when we get discouraged, and there will be. So, what do you do when you're discouraged? Like, do you have a support system or a circle of friends that you tap into?
Absolutely. I have a support system. I have a circle of friends. Also, on social media, I get a lot of positive messages from people, and I save those messages. I save those messages because on the days that I'm not feeling like myself, or feel like I'm kind of stuck and I'm not understanding what's going on, I go back and I read those messages and I see how I've impacted people, how I've helped them along my way. And I'm like, all right, we got to keep going because there's someone else that needs us, or someone else that, needs that encouragement, or needs, to hear this word. So I just keep going, and I go back and I look at those, and I talk to my friends and my family and get that encouragement that I need during those times.
think that's a really good practical tip that people can follow to really write down notes or really save those messages that people send to you, because there are times when you might not even have anyone in the corner, or currently, given the pandemic situation, we can't even go to another person's place at times. So all this text messages and all this really helps to encourage us, and strengthen us so that we can keep going forward. And Eugenia, I really like that you have so much about yourself. I just see someone that's really driven, someone that's passionate. And so what is next for you? Like, besides the book and the cosmetics, what's next for you right now?
Honestly, at this point, I'm growing Dymanz Glaze. I am I'm going to start writing my second book because my people are wanting another book. So I do anticipate another book coming very, very soon. And I'm just working on expanding Dymanz Glaze and, getting that global, because I told God that I wanted to go international, so that's definitely something that I'm working on as well. So that's what's in the works for Dymanz Glaze. And I just can't wait for the world to see what we do.
That's really amazing. And I do hope that, this book would launch you even further than where you've been. And also want to ask you, right, in terms of being you have such a busy schedule, right? You have your books, you have the business, and you're now involved in this voluntary camp and all that. So how do you, as a leader, right, manage your time, and also don't let it affect your personal time and space as well?
Time management is something that's very important. It was one of my biggest downfalls in the beginning, because I was so new, I didn't understand. So I had to really block out, on what day, this is what I'm going to do. So Monday, I'm going to do this. Tuesday, I'm going to do that. Wednesday, I'll dedicate, every other Tuesday is dedicated to the nonprofit that I work with. So every other Tuesday, we have meetings, we have, ideas come about, we plan what we're going to do. So it's just about really blocking out that time. In the evenings, I spend that with my family. So I spend most of the mornings, working, doing what I need to do, but definitely just creating and blocking out, and just understanding that sometimes things do overlap, because that's how business works, but try not making it a habit, just try to keep everything in its place so everyone is happy. So everyone is happy.
And just say, if you have an opportunity to go back in time, to maybe a certain age or a certain season in your life, is there something that you would like to change?
I would say yes and no. Yes, because there's a lot of things that I felt that I could do better. Like the old saying goes, if I knew then what I know now, I would definitely want to go back in time and tell my younger self some things. And then at the same time, I say no, because God's timing is perfect. And so all those things, those situations catapulted me to be the person that I am. And so I just take it in stride, and I tell God, thank you, for allowing those situations to give me wisdom, so I can be this, inspiration to others, to be a mentor, putting me in that position. So for that answer, it's of course I would love to, but at the same time, I'm totally okay with where I am now, and I'm thankful for my journey.
That's really powerful, I would say. I mean, because I think sometimes the journeys or the life experiences that we go through, right, make us into who we are as a person. It changes our personality. It makes us so much stronger. And I think a lot of times, if we have not gone through that journey, we would not be the woman we are right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You are correct. Yes.
Yeah. And if just say, is there a quote that you live by?
Absolutely. My quote that I live by is, obedience is better than sacrifice. And I say that because we go through so much on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. And sometimes on this journey, especially if you are a believer, and even if you're not, there's sometimes where you're just going through so much and you what is happening? What's going on? You don't know what's going to happen next. And so I just say obedience is better than sacrifice, because if I'm being obedient and doing what I know I'm supposed to do, then I'm confident in knowing that things are going to work itself out. Just give it a little bit of time. That's just what I live by.
I actually don't really do this like ad hoc thing on my show, but I just feel like I wanted to do it for you, especially for you, Eugenia. I just want to give you like about a few minutes, right? Like just take some time to just do a shout out to someone that you feel has helped you so much in your journey that you really want to. I think a lot of times, right, I do sincerely believe that um, we sometimes fail to appreciate and thank the people around us, especially the people who've done so much for us. And have not been in, and due to sometimes our tight schedule, we never have time to really thank them and all that. And I think if you have someone right like that, and if you do that for them right now, it will really mean, I believe it will mean a lot to them.
Oh my goodness. So I know you said someone, but I'll have to say my children. I want to thank my children so much for understanding that mom is on a journey right now. Mom is changing, their life, her life, for the betterment of both of them, or all three of them. And for them being so understanding, especially my oldest daughter, she's so understanding. And Mom, what can I do to help you out? Mom, do you need me to do this? So I'm just so thankful to my children, throughout this, for them being so understanding. Again, I would have to thank my team, my PR, Brandy, my growth consultant, Ashley. Like, they are the two most amazing women I have met, on this journey. And they have given me, wisdom. They have helped, given me the strength sometimes. They didn't even know the words that they were speaking to me, helped me propel forward. So I would have to, just thank those people so much throughout this journey.
And I'm really glad that you also shared about, your children, right? Because I can see that, it takes a lot of time away from the children, especially, and for them to be so understanding and to be so supportive of you. I think it means a lot to you as a mother, because, you can't really go out and do what you want to do in the world if you don't feel that peace, at home. Like, your children are well taken care of, and they are doing well. So I think they should be equally proud of you. And I think this would be, if when your children gets to watch this, they will also feel that that love and that concern and care that you have for them, and how proud you are of them as a mom. And I think that's the beauty of being a woman leader, right? Who's not just all about career and all about, like, about herself. It's also about who she is as a person. She's like, so you have that trait of yourself as a career woman. You have that trait as a mother. You also do other things in the community as well. So it's really amazing that, you have, like, it's to me, I think it's really a lot. It's I don't think I'll be able to, like, probably do all of that as well.
It does take a team. It takes a team. I'm blessed by my support system as well. So, between my kids and family, I'm just blessed that I'm able to do these things and, not feel like I have to sacrifice, so much. It's not a one or the other type situation. So I'm just thankful for that. I really am. So it's challenging, but I take it as it comes every day.
And as we are coming to the end of this show, right, Eugenia, is there any practical advice that you would like to give to the young women out there?
Absolutely. My advice would be, you are good enough. Never let anyone tell you what you're capable of doing, what you're not capable of doing. You being here is not a mistake. You have the talents, you have the gifts to propel yourself forward in whatever it is that you do. It may not come as quick as you would like it to come. It's going to take a little time, but I just want every woman to know that she is enough. You have everything within you that is needed to be where you want to be in life.
That's really good, and it's a really sound advice to give to the young women out there. So I just want to thank you, Eugenia, for your time, for being here, for just sharing your heart as well. And I wish you all the best in all your endeavors. I wish you good success as well. And I just pray and declare that the Lord will just open up many more opportunities for you to be a blessing to the women around you in your community as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really enjoyed this. Everyone for listening. Just thank you so much.
And once again, thank you all for listening and joining us in the living room. And do subscribe and share this video to other women who really need this kind of message to be themselves, to not be fearful, and to stand on their own feet. Thanks, Eugenia, for your time.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.